Derry, Maine, October 1988. Bill Denbrough helps his little brother Georgie make a paper boat named SS Georgie. Georgie wants to play outside in the rain with the boat, but Bill is too sick to go with him. The brothers give each other a tight embrace before Georgie goes out to play. Georgie plays with his boat, but it accidentally goes down the street and falls into a sewer. Georgie runs to the sewer to get it back, but he sees yellow eyes in the darkness. A clown named Pennywise appears and talks to Georgie before offering to give him his boat. When Georgie reaches for it, Pennywise bites off his arm and pulls him into the sewer. Georgie cries out for his brother Bill to save him, but it's too late. 8 months later, June 1989, Mike Hanlon meets his grandfather Leroy, who teaches him how to kill a sheep with a nail gun. Leroy talks to Mike and then shows him how to do it. Finally, Leroy does it himself. On the last day of school, Bill and his friends Richie, Eddie, and Stanley, who call themselves the Losers Club, are leaving to start their summer vacation. Unfortunately, they meet a mean bully named Henry Bowers and his friends, Patrick, Victor, and Belch. When Henry makes fun of Bill's friends, Bill tells him off, which makes Henry angry and he threatens Bill. However, when Bill's dad, who is a police officer, appears, Henry backs off. But before he leaves, he rubs his spit on Bill's face as an insult. A girl named Beverly Marsh is smoking in the bathroom when a group of mean girls led by Greta come in and start bullying her. They call her names and accuse her of being promiscuous. One of the girls even throws a bag full of water on Beverly, but she manages to protect herself with her school bag. As Beverly is leaving the building, she meets a new kid named Ben Hascom, who is being teased for being overweight and having no friends. Beverly signs his yearbook, and Ben seems to develop a crush on her. When Bill arrives home, his father Zach scolds him for making a model of the sewer system in Derry, as he still believes that his brother Georgie is only missing. Zach tells Bill to accept that Georgie is no longer alive. Mike goes to the butcher shop to make a delivery when he hears what sounds like screaming and pounding coming from behind the door in the alley. As the door opens, he sees several burned hands sticking out, and then Pennywise appears. However, before he can react, the Bowers gang nearly runs him over in a car, causing Mike to flee. Stan is at the synagogue studying for his bar mitzvah, a coming-of-age ritual in Judaism. He sees a painting in the rabbi's office that scares him, as it shows a woman with a strange face. Suddenly, the painting falls, and when Stan picks it up, the woman is no longer in the painting. Instead, IT appears as the woman with a scary smile full of fangs. This scares Stan so much that he runs away from the room. Ben is at the library researching the history of Derry. He discovers that children have been disappearing in mysterious ways for many years. While reading a book, he sees a picture of Pennywise and a missing boy's head in a tree. Then, he is drawn into the basement where he sees a boy without a head before being chased out by Pennywise. On his way home, Ben is attacked by the Bowers gang. They hold him and threaten to harm him in different ways. A couple drove by but didn't do anything, even though there was a red balloon present that suggested IT was nearby. Henry only managed to cut an H on Ben's stomach before Ben kicked him and ran away. The bullies chased after him. Meanwhile, the Losers Club was nearby, searching for Georgie. They heard Ben fall into the water and saved him. Patrick goes alone into the sewer to find Ben, and he sees frightening children that scare him. He tries to run away but gets stuck in a dead end. Suddenly, one red balloon appears and then pop, and Pennywise emerges from it. Pennywise eats Patrick. The boys need to buy things to fix Ben's wound, but they don't have enough money. At the pharmacy, they meet Beverly, who is buying tampons. She learns about their problem and pretends to flirt with the creepy pharmacist, Mr. Keene, to distract him. This gives the boys enough time to take what they need and for Beverly to take some cigarettes. Afterward, Beverly joins the boys outside the store where they are tending to Ben's wound. Beverly returns home to her father, who is very unpleasant and makes her uncomfortable. He behaves inappropriately towards her, and she ends up crying in the bathroom. In an act of rebellion, she cuts off her long hair to a shorter length. The boys are at a place where they can jump into a lake, but nobody wants to go first. Bev arrives and jumps in, which encourages the others to do the same. They have fun swimming and spending time together. Afterwards, Ben tells them about some information he read about Derry's history. Eddie is walking and sees a scary house. Suddenly, a sick-looking person attacks him, so Eddie runs away. While running, he sees Pennywise trying to get him to come closer, but Eddie runs away and escapes through a fence. Bev is in her room and she finds a postcard with a poem on it from a secret admirer. She thinks it's from Bill, but it was actually from Ben. While she's in her bathroom, Bev hears children's voices coming from the sink. Then, clumps of hair come out of the sink and try to grab her. Suddenly, a fountain of blood sprays all over the bathroom. Bev's dad comes in and sees her scared, but he can't see the blood. He just tells her that her short hair makes her look like a boy. Bill sees someone who looks like his brother Georgie running around the house. He follows him to the basement, which is flooded. Georgie invites Bill to join him and repeats, "We all float down here. You'll float too." Georgie suddenly decomposes and Pennywise comes out of the water to try to get Bill, but he runs away. The kids are riding their bikes when they see Mike's bike and the Bowers gang's car. They go down by the creek to find the punks bullying Mike for being black. Bev throws a rock at Henry's head, which starts a rock-throwing fight between both groups. Mike joins the loser's side while Vic and Belch run away as Henry is knocked out. The kids are talking when Bill tells them about what he saw in his house. Eddie agrees with him that he saw Pennywise too. Mike also shares his story about his burnt-down house and how his parents died. Richie admits to being scared of clowns, but he hasn't seen anything scary yet. The kids go to Bill's garage to look at a map of Derry. They see that the sewers are linked to the Neibolt house where IT lives. While they are looking at a projector, pictures of Bill and Georgie with their parents start showing. But Pennywise's face appears over their mother's face. They try to stop the projector, but it keeps showing until Pennywise fully appears from the screen and tries to harm the kids. Luckily, they escape from the garage before Pennywise can hurt them. The losers go to the Neibolt house to face Ike. Bill, Richie, and Eddie go inside while the others stay outside to watch. Richie sees a poster of himself and gets scared, but Bill tells him it's not real. Eddie gets lost and breaks his arm. Bill and Richie try to find him, but they see scary things behind each door they open. Richie gets stuck in a room with clown dolls and a coffin that has a dummy of himself. Pennywise appears and tries to attack Richie, but he escapes. Beverly arrives and kills Pennywise with a spear, causing him to run away. Eddie's mom doesn't let the losers be friends with Eddie because he's injured. Bill and Richie argue when Richie says searching for Georgie almost killed them. The losers split up because some of them are too scared to continue. In the month of August, the children have been carrying on with their usual activities. One day, Eddie visits the pharmacy to collect his asthma medication but is informed by Greta, the pharmacy worker, that the medication he received is not genuine. To add insult to injury, she proceeds to write the word loser on his arm cast. Henry is hanging out with his friends Vic and Belch. They're playing with Henry's dad's gun and Henry tells Belch to get a cat for him to shoot. Officer Bowers shows up and takes the gun away from Henry, then fires the gun around Henry's feet to scare and embarrass him in front of his friends. Later, Henry finds a red balloon on his mailbox, and inside the balloon is a knife from Ike. Henry goes inside his house, where his dad is sleeping with the TV on. The TV shows a woman with children who urge Henry to kill his father. Eventually, Henry stabs his father with the knife, and the kids on TV, who are all IT's victims, start chanting, "Kill them all! Kill them all!" At Beverly's house, her dad tries to do bad things to her. Beverly fights him off and runs into the bathroom. When her dad follows her there, she hits him with the top of the toilet, and he dies. As she tries to leave, Pennywise appears and takes her away. Bill goes to Bev's house and finds her dad dead in the bathroom. He sees a message written in blood on the wall that says, "You'll die if you try." Bill understands that Bev has been taken by IT, so he goes to his friends to try and save her. When they go to get Eddie, his mom won't let him leave. But when he finds out his medication was fake, he argues with his mom and decides to go with his friends anyway. The boys go to the Neibolt house and discover a well where IT lives. They use a rope to climb down into the well, but when Mike is about to go down, Henry appears and attacks him. Henry tries to stop the boys from climbing back up by pulling the rope up. He also tries to harm Mike with a nail gun, but Mike defends himself and pushes Henry down the well. It seems like Henry dies from the fall. While exploring deeper into the well, It, in the form of the woman from the painting, attacks Stan and bites his head. The boys manage to scare It off and help Stan, who is very scared. The boys go deeper into the well and find It's lair. They see all the kids It has taken floating in a trance. They find Bev floating too, but they pull her down and Ben kisses her to wake her up. Bill sees Georgie, but he knows it's not really him and shoots him in the head. Georgie turns into Pennywise and tries to kill the kids. They fight back until Pennywise has Bill under his control. He gives the others a choice to die together or leave with just Bill. Bill tells them to run, but Richie fights back. They beat up Pennywise until he's powerless. Before Bill can kill him, Pennywise escapes. The kidnapped kids float downward. Bill finds Georgie's raincoat and breaks down crying. His friends hug him. It's now September, and the losers make a promise to come back to Derry in 27 years if It ever returns. They spend time together before gradually going their separate ways, except for Bill and Bev, who stay behind. Bev is going to move to Portland, and as she walks away, Bill runs up to her and kisses her. End of Chapter 1.